Thank you for joining us. This presentation is now started. It is about Glean audio note taking. And we have Tabitha Spivey, our Assistive Technology Specialist from ADRS, presenting today, and I'm going to turn it over to her.
Good morning. This is going to be a brief introduction for students on how to utilize Glean as a note-taking tool in the classroom. Allow me to quickly introduce myself. My name is Tabitha Spivey, and I am an Assistive Technology Specialist with the Alabama Department of Rehabilitation Services that covers the North Alabama area. I am a former school teacher, and I now work with students who need a little extra help in the classroom. My email address is shown here, and you are welcome to contact me regarding any assistive technology needs. I'll do the best I can to answer, and if I can't, I'll direct you to who can. After the presentation, there will be a few minutes for questions. So what is Glean? Glean is a note-taking tool that also records audio so that you can capture and learn from information more effectively. When using a tool such as this, less time is spent focusing on taking notes and more time is going to be spent listening to the instructor. Glean can be used to some extent on most devices. When you're connected to internet on a PC or Chromebook, all features are going to be available. When you're using an iOS device, such as an iPhone or iPad, or an Android device, audio recordings and basic note-taking will still be available. Glean is also available for use online or offline in a limited capacity. One question students and teachers often want to know is where the notes are being stored. We often do not have storage space to spare on our phones and computers as it is. Your audio and notes are going to be stored in the cloud when you're using Glean. The only time anything is temporarily stored on the device is if you use Glean when you're offline. Next time you connect to the internet, those notes and audio will be sent off to the cloud. That can be helpful though, because if something happens to your computer or device, your notes are going to be safe and accessible from a different device. So how does Glean work? After clicking record, Glean begins recording the lecture. As you listen, you are able to indicate portions of the lecture that are important or need to be reviewed for later. This is the most important part of using Glean. There are extra added features that can be utilized if you so choose. Text notes can be added during or after the lecture. Terms and definitions can easily be pulled from Wikipedia. Images and slides can be imported to correlate with your audio and notes. If you would like to add tasks that need to be completed, you can also create a checklist within your notes. Is it free? Well, there's a 30-day free trial that you can sign up at glean.co to see if it is a good fit for you. Then the cost would be $12 per month for one student. There's also extra options available for teachers or schools that want multiple licenses. You can contact Glean for that information. Now I'm going to demonstrate how it actually works. Okay, so when you open up Glean, you're going to have a few different options. On the left side, you've got your home collections, which is basically folders of different events. Then you've got tasks, and you can use your search. What you're normally going to do is click at the top where it says New Event. Okay, so once you've got your event open, we'll then go ahead and give it a title so that you don't forget to do that later. I usually suggest putting the date. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is import your slides if you have them. If your teacher has previously emailed them or posted those to the website so that you can download those, that's an excellent part of this tool. So you go ahead and go to import slides. Now, if your teacher does not post them or share them with you in advance, you might want to ask them to do that. And if that still doesn't work out, or if they're not using slides, this is still a very useful piece of assistive technology to use. Okay, so now we've got the slides on the left, and in the middle here is where any notes or images or terms, anything that you want to add, that's where that will go. And then on the right side, your recorded audio is going to be placed. So the very first thing I suggest to people is to turn on lightning mode. Now, you don't have to use lightning mode, but what lightning mode does is it allows you to only label and add any terms that you want to add. Any notes about the audio can be added later. If you don't have lightning mode on, and then that's when you will have to add notes to your text box down here. So where it says add note, as you're listening and you select labels, then you'll want to go ahead and add your notes during the lecture. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on lightning mode. And then here at the top, we're going to hit record. Now we've got a couple different options here. We've got microphone, or for remote classes, you can do just the screen audio or the screen audio and mic. I'm going to go ahead and click microphone. Okay, so now on the right side, you can see where the audio is being recorded. That's where those bars are popping up. Every time I pause to take a breath, you're going to have a gap. Okay, so since I've got lightning mode already turned on, I don't have to add any notes. I can only add the labels, important, review, or I can change topics by clicking a new heading. So if my teacher is up there talking, it's going to be recording all of that. And if I click important, then I've got a little icon there, an exclamation mark that has now been added so that I can go back and listen to that important thing that my teacher said. If they say something that I need to review, I'm going to click review. And again, I can add those notes later. I could also add them now if I chose. Now, if my teacher changes slides, it's going to automatically bump me down here in a new section. If they change topics within the slide, I could go ahead and do a new heading. Okay, now, if I wanted to go down here and post an image, I could do that. So if I am, let's say, in a computer class, and I need to add an image of a computer, I'm going to pop that in my notes. I'm sure you could find more useful images that are more applicable to your class. If you'd like to add a term that you're a little unfamiliar with, you can go down here to where it says W, and you've got this image box here. I'm sorry, it's a box for definition. So let's say I don't know what an evaluation is. So we're going to type that word in. And then we've got the definition right there instantly included in our notes. Now, if my teacher starts telling me about some tasks that I need to complete, they start telling me I need to do pages 567 through 320, and then do questions 3 through 4. There we go. So I've got page 567 through 590, questions 3 through 4. And when I do that, I can check that off. So it's included in my notes so that I can refer back to that later. Now, what I was doing was clicking on these things, heading, important review, and the image and the term and the task. But I can also go through and use the keyboard. So instead of clicking, you can just put I, and you've instantly got your images. Got W to do your definitions, and T for task. Then 1, 2, or 3 for those. So you have different options there. Now I'm going to go up here to the top and click stop. Now there's a couple other things that you can see here. You've got this clock here. So this helps you with a little bit of time management. So when you're studying, you can set the time for you to focus. So you can set it for 10, 15, or 30 minutes. So if we set a timer for 30 minutes, you've got a clock ticking up here at the top. So ideally, you're going to sit and study for 30 minutes and then take a break and maybe study some more after that. Here, you've got the reading view. So if you select that, it changes your notes into the format without the audio, a very printable piece there. Back. Now here we've got different layouts. You can hide the audio when being recorded. Of course, we're not recording right now, so that's not going to change anything. On the right, you can copy your notes and you could paste them elsewhere. You can replace the slides with other ones where we've got the assistive technology slides. You could also move that event into a different folder. Now here we've got the cloud. So this shows you that this has been uploaded into the cloud, so you can open it on any other device at this time. It's got that check mark. If it does not have that check mark, then you know that it will need to be uploaded and that it's temporarily being saved on the computer. Here you've got the 1x for the audio options. That means that it's at normal speed. If you would like to slow down your speaker, you can do so by putting the 0.5 times or the 0.75 times. You could also speed them up. There's a couple other features here: click reduction, noise cancellation, high pitch filter, low pitch filter, and the adjust the volume automatically. So you can tweak some of your audio sounding if things are not up to par. Okay, so now I've gone back and you can see here the different, the previous events is what they call them that you've created. This right here, the demo event, this shows you what it could really look like when it's not just being shown to you. You've got your slides here. And then over here, you've got your audio. So, I'm sorry, your text notes. And here you've got your audio. So you can go and play back any portion of that you would like. So if you wanted to hear this part right here, you just click play.
We'll introduce you to the key scientific thinkers in the field of time travel.
And you can see here, it immediately jumps to that portion of the notes. So it does not play it all back at once. You won't have to listen to it from beginning to end. You can pick and choose the important part. If you want to hear what was said when you made this task, right here, you just play it.
So if you've ever watched Doctor Who or movies like...
You can also notice that it jumps to the slide within the notes. So wherever they were in that slideshow at that time is also going to jump to that part of the lecture. So you can play any part that you want to back. You could even go to where you included images within your notes, and it's going to go back and play that part. So here's an image and it's going to play that back. You can go, full screen, make things expand.
And you can also go back and delete, convert them to tasks. So you can change things around even after the fact. This collections here, this is where you can actually go through and add your notes to those collections. And so it's basically a folder. Need to unmute myself. So hopefully that shares a little bit about how Glean works. One thing that Ashley and I discussed before the presentation was that Glean replaced Sonocent. So a lot of you are probably familiar with Sonocent already. They are supporting their lifetime licenses until 2025. And I think that if you already have Sonocent, they're offering some type of discount for the time being. And I actually got an email this morning saying that now they're selling annual licenses as well for $130. So were there any questions about Glean?
Yeah, just to clarify, you mean that they have annual licenses for Glean now,
Right.
not
Yes.
just a monthly subscription. The monthly subscription is $12 a month, you said, and then now you're saying that annual
There's
subscriptions are $130.
Right.
So I let Tabitha know that there were some individuals here from Disability Support Services who probably are familiar with Sonocent. So we needed to mention that that is being phased out, but you have a license, it's supported until 2025, but you might want to start getting used to Glean and transferring over to that.
And the more you use it, the more you'll probably like it. But it is quite a bit different, being an online format instead of just staying on the computer. So it's different, but I've really come to like it better.
But with it being an online format, that makes it a little bit easier to access from any device. Because I know one of the issues we have when we're recommending technology in school systems is not knowing what devices the students have. And a lot of them have Chromebooks, which you couldn't install Sonocent on. So
right.
That is
and,
a good
it can be used in so many different ways. If you take your notes in class on a computer, there's some students who use it, listen to it on their radios in their cars, using their phones. They play back their notes during their commute. So there's just a lot of different ways you can use it when it's available on so many different devices.
Are there any questions from anyone else? I personally love the features that you showed, which I did not know because I haven't looked into Glean that much myself. But I love the features where you can quick add the definitions and the tasks, especially because how many times do students forget in class what the teacher said the assignment was?
Right.
And that's an easy way to add that into your notes, and then it's a to-do list. So that's pretty
cool. And that trial is pretty awesome too, because there's a lot of other note takers that we discuss with students and things like that. But just being able to say, hey, go try it for 30 days. You've already got the Chromebook, you've already got the computer, whatever. So go try it out for 30 days and see if it works for you. And if it doesn't, then there's, other options that we could consider.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. If there aren't any questions, I'm going to talk a little bit about APTAT before we close out. In just a second. So if you're familiar with Department of Rehab Services, our Rehab Engineering and Assistive Technology program has recently started a new project to partner with STAR and fulfill some of the activities required by the Assistive Technology Act. And in doing that, we are developing a lending library of assistive technology for Alabama citizens with disabilities. We're also going to be providing AT demonstrations, AT trainings like these webinars. We can also provide technical assistance to organizations to help you better develop your assistive technology services. And we can also provide information and referral. And this is statewide. This is not limited just ADRS consumers. So through this project and through this Assistive Technology Act, we're going to be able to provide these services to anyone in the state that needs them. And so our APTAT lending library, it's been a big undertaking, and we have made some progress over the last couple of months. We are adding these items to our lending library so that if you want to trial devices before you buy it, you can borrow these items for short-term loans. Our website is www.al.atforall.com, and these items can be borrowed for short-term loans to try it to see if it works for you before you buy it. It can be borrowed as a short-term accommodation. So if you have someone with a temporary impairment, or you have someone that needs an accommodation until you can purchase it, then you could borrow these items and implement that temporarily. It can also be used if someone's device is being repaired or is, in the process of getting funded. You might could borrow these items temporarily, and then also for professional development. So if there's something in our lending library that you see that you would love to try out, just learn more about, have some time hands-on with it, you can borrow it from our library. Let me see if I can get this up real quick to give you an idea. It's giving me a warning. It won't let me open it on our network, funny enough. Let's see. I'm going to get it for you. There we go. Okay. So when you go to al.atforall, you'll arrive at this window. And if you want to just see in general what we have available, you can click on that little magnifying glass to search and give it several minutes if you're on a slow network like ours. And you want to make sure that you have selected the APTAT program. These are the items that you can borrow for short-term loans. And we've added a variety of items, a lot of aids for daily living, like eating utensils, plates, and bowls. Then we have some more items. We have a lot more that we're waiting to arrive from our vendors. So just keep checking back to see what we have available. If there is a particular category that you're interested in, then you can filter those items by category. And you can see what we have available in that category. If you've been familiar with the STAR program in the past, this is the same website used for our reutilization centers where you can go get items for free. So I'll just show you real quickly. If you were to look at the Birmingham Remedy Project, that is a reutilization center here in Birmingham where mostly DME equipment is donated, and you can go pick those items up for free. So I just wanted to give you that brief introduction to that so that you know of another service if you hear of someone with a disability that's looking for some products. I promise there's things on the website. It's just not showing up on our network. There it is. So the Remedy Center has a lot of walkers. They'll often get some like wheelchairs or bath chairs, things like that. And just make sure that when you're looking for our assistive technology in our lending library, you're under the APTAT program. And so pretty soon we hope to be adding some kitchen kits for individuals who want to try out some different ways to cook independently in the kitchen, different items for computer access. We've added some smart home technology already. We plan to add more. And then we'll also have some devices available in the future for students, like note-taking apps on iPads or with laptops or whatever we can find. We have ordered a couple of couple of other more low-tech note-taking items as well. We're also providing AT training, and the way we're primarily going to do that is through the webinars. The next webinars we have coming up are OrCamp and Voice It. If you want to find out about more of the trainings that we're providing or just more AT training in general, you can go to startraining.org/events. And if you have any AT training in particular that you would like request, please send those requests to me at ashley.mcelroy@rehab.alabama.gov. I'm going to put these links in the chat. You can follow our progress on social media. You can also visit our training website. Social media is where I'm going to post a lot of our training announcements and items that we're adding to the lending library. And I will also be sending out e-newsletters. So if you want to sign up for our e-newsletter, you can visit that sign up link, or you can text APTAT to 22828. And let me see, I'm trying to get to our chat box. I'm not finding it. There it is. Add these links to chat so you can grab them if you're interested. And additional links to find out more about what we're doing, Alabama Department of Rehab Services website, the Lending Library website. And then if you want to find out more about that Tech Act, what other states are doing and what's required and what we can and cannot provide through that Tech Act, you can visit the at3center.net, and they have some useful info. All right.